Okay, so we're actually ready to move on to the final assembly. So let's get some of this stuff out of the way. We got our screwdrivers and we have all our stuff. All right. I think, you know, when we did back at the beginning of this build, I was thinking, you know, let's keep the glow-in-the-dark plastic. I wanted to keep that glow-in-the-dark plastic, but looking back, I regret doing that. I wish I would have just painted it. We could have painted the bones like a yellowish, and it would have looked a lot better. Because let's face it, it's not meant to be glowing in the dark anyway, because we put in the lights. So what I'm thinking is when we do the Forgotten Prisoner, we could just paint the bones and we can light it up a different way. But at this point, you can see the fiber optics coming out of the orbs of his skull. We can go ahead and we can snip those because those are useless now. This is another mistake. And again, guys, when I make mistakes, which I do a lot, you guys can watch my mistakes and then avoid them. Learn what not to do. So we're ready to put him onto the base. So why don't we go ahead? I want to make sure that the holes are going to be, we want it to be snug enough, not too tight, but we want it to be able to fit. So let's see. I want to make just a little bit more room. Just a little bit more room for the wire where his feet are going to go. I think the other one is... I think this one... Yeah, this one's fine. Alright, let's see how this fits now. There's going to be just a little bit more room where the wire can go in the back, like we meant it to. Yeah, that's a lot better. There. Just like that. And you can see there are parts of the bottoms that come out that this actually has to help hold them in place. So why don't we go ahead now and we can actually put him through the base. So we can see the last two holes left in the base are for the captain. All right, we gotta let this dry right now. And while he dries, I want to show you guys something. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. When it comes to the candelabras, I wanted to have a bit of fun with that. So what I was thinking was, what if, when he appears to defend his gold, what if the magic that he brings with him lights up the skulls, which we did, lights up the one in the treasure chest and the one on the floor, lights up his rib cage, and let's say it lights up the candelabra as well because of the magic that he's bringing to defend his gold. Now what I wanted to try, you can see this, these are the, let's see, they're the flickering light, yellow. And this is exactly what I want to use for the Reliant. All right, let me put the light out. You guys can see the effect that I'm looking for. Let's get totally dark. And see how it's flickering? And I'm thinking if we can do this for the candles. So what I want to do is I just want to get some piece out. We're going to need 3 pieces. And see, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see the fiber optic or not. Let me see if I can actually, yeah, it's not going to be, it's so brittle. Put the edge, and let's cover up the bulb. See how cool that looks? You get that flicker effect. So to make a long story short, we're going to put in the candelabra, and we're actually going to light the wicks. And hopefully we can get it to look like the wicks are on fire. So we got to figure the housing that we're going to put for the light. So if we can get the bulb, see if I can glue the bulb in place and then glue that. I'm wondering if I should use some hot glue. That would keep it in place a little bit better. All right, so when you put the lights on, hopefully you can see the candles. It looks a little bit better when it's like that. So we're going to put this in the bottom of the base. So now we can take it apart, and we're not going to use this glue gun for the stuff on the bottom. We're going to use the good one. I'm going to see if he's dry yet, because we still need to re-glue the ship's wheel. So I really don't know how to... There we go. Alright. What I want to do is I think, yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of glue and redo the ship's wheel. I'm going to keep that from going anywhere. Make sure that's going to stay in place. So when it comes to his feet, I think so far that looks good. Hopefully you guys can see the way he looks. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to gently I don't know how we're going to do it gently, but you can see the candelabra pieces right in there, and that's what we're going to actually have to drill. See, once we get it, the hole started, it's a little bit easier. All right. Let's see, is that almost through? All right, that's through. Hopefully you guys can see those. And if we go around to the back, I'm going to open them up just a bit more. There's one. There's the second one. And the third one was close to the that glob of glue. There. You can see a little bit better that way. All right, so that's where the three holes are going to be. Now, the hard part is going to be getting the filaments in through there. So you guys can see we got the filaments, and I've got 6 of them. So I want 2 to go into each hole. So I think what we got to do now is we're going to glue it. And let's see, we can put it maybe over here. Once that's done, everything should be in place where we can think about wiring and getting all the wires connected. We need to do all of the positives and all of the negatives. And remember, we got to keep it where we can change the batteries. So what if we... Okay, so we had some time to dry, and you could see the lid. I figured that would be a problem. We got to figure out how to keep that from coming back off again. You can see the captain. He's got his sword, he's got his musket, and you can see, let me show you guys the mess underneath. So there was enough room where I didn't glue the power pack on because we still need to be able to put the batteries and change them. Now you can see we've got the top of the candelabra, and let me go ahead. We're going to light it up, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see the ends of the fiber optics. I think I'm going to go ahead. We're going to snip them. Where are my little snips? Let's see. Let's slip them right about there. There. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. All right. So, what else do we have? We got the candelabra. We got that lit. We have the captain. He's glued into place. Let's see, what else is left? Put him over there. So let's review. You can see, remember, we put the rubber band in. We put in a mechanism. You can see the elastic is holding his arms on. We put on his face, and we put the shoulders on. We did the ship's wheel, and instead of the parakeet, I made a raven, and you can see the skull we put on the base. We put a lot of the bones on the base. We did his hat. Again, we put the raven on him, and we did the treasure chest. And again, you guys remember it was broken when I got it, so I had a little bit of problems with that, and it came off when we were doing this latest, when we were putting all the wires in at the bottom. So hopefully that'll stay on, because I really don't know, unless, I mean, if it breaks again, I could micro drill it and run a paper clip through both pieces and put it down on that way there I know it's not going to go anywhere. But for now, we can keep it like that. So let me put the light off. Let's see if I can get it dark for you guys. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the candelabra. Let me go ahead and take you guys off the tripod and check it out, huh? You can see the candelabra is lit. I hope you can get that flickering look. And we've got the ship's wheel in the background, and we have the guy with his head in the treasure chest, and we get the pile of bones, and standing over it is the captain. You can see he's going to make sure no one's going to steal his gold. And he's got the raven on his shoulder, his little helper. And you can see that glow that's coming from his chest. I wanted to make it the same kind of glow that has the skulls lit. And again, I'm glad I did the candelabra now because I think that looks pretty cool. Can you tell that it's flickering? Yeah, you can actually tell. That's really cool. I'm glad I did that. So when he appears, the candelabra may not be upright, but it's still, it's flickering. Let's turn it around and see the other angle. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? Too much? Because it was a lot of work to get it to look like this. And if it's not noticeable, it wouldn't have been worth it. But when you look at it like this, I think it's pretty cool. Let's turn him around. See the other side. And you can see the candle. That looks pretty cool. And we've got the treasure chest, that glow. We did his hat. And I wanted to do the fiber optics, so I put some into the orbs of his skull, and it's too bad because what I'm thinking now is if I could have ran it down, all the way down to where the candelabra has the same light bulb, those would have been in his eyes, and I thought that would have looked really, really cool. But I'm still relatively new to modeling, and I'm still kind of feeling my way around, and this is another one under my belt where I get a little bit more experience in. Let me go ahead and put the light on so you can see the details a little bit better. And we got his hat. Let me turn him around. Look at this side. And we got the raven again. I couldn't understand why there would be like a normal looking parakeet. So I figured he'd look better as a raven. And hopefully you can see his eye, his red eye. And we got the scarf around the captain. We have his jacket. You can see some of the, it's tattered up. And we got him holding a musket in one hand. And in the other hand, he's holding his sword. Again, the musket won't really work against a spirit or another skeleton. So that's probably against the flesh and bone people that are trying to come and steal his plunder. And we got the inside of the treasure chest. I had made it red, like a red velvet kind of cover to show that there was something valuable inside. And you can see his shirt. I put his shirt white, and it was going to be kind of like dingy, but the way it came out, it was almost the same color as the plastic. Maybe I should have put it yellow. That might have looked a little better. You could see his belt buckle and his belt. And we had done his pants to make him look tattered and old. And all the way down to his shoes. Hopefully you can see the belt buckles. You can see the pile of bones that we had to kind of hide the wire coming up for the light inside of the skull on the bottom. And again, we've got the plates that I had the inspiration from the Titanic from First Class. That's why I thought it would look good with the blue around. And when we put the decals on, they really popped. And there are decals that are around the goblet. I don't know if you guys can see that. The skull. And we got the sword. And we got the guy. Lost his sword. And what else do we have for the gold and the plunder? You can see I put some gold. I put silver for the pieces of 8, and we have some copper coins as well. And it was all nice and shiny. And I figured that if it's going to be in a cave or in a really dank place, it's not going to have all of this beautiful luster to it. Chances are it's going to be all dingy and mildewy and gross. So that's why I put the dry wash on it, and I made it look a little bit old. And because the way the box looks, he's in a cave. So if he's in a cave, you know it's going to be wet. It's going to be wet and it's going to be dank. And I did the same thing with the treasure chest. Let me turn it around so you can get a good look at the treasure chest. I had wanted it to be where it was showing signs of the mildew. You can see the sides, the top. You got the must and the very humid air, kind of a dank, cool place, and it would eventually make the wood turn to mush. And we got the little surprise with the guy's head inside, and he's actually got a spider on the top of his head. The way the light is, it's kind of blaring out the spider, but it does look pretty good with the naked eye. Then we got the ship's wheel. Zoom in on that for you guys. You can see I wanted to do the same thing with the mildew. See, the ship's wheel is it's built to withstand the wet, the water, the salt water, and it would be built to withstand more than the treasure chest would be. So that's why I figured the planks and the treasure chest would be all really yucky, to the point where you could probably just take your hand and just crumble the wood. That's probably how it's all wet over the years. But the ship's wheel would be a little more durable. So I put the mold and the moss, and I put it where the sun was coming in. So we try to keep only the moss in the areas where the light would reach it. And let's see, we got a little guy's arm. He's trying to get his sword. At one time, he probably was fighting for the gold, the captain's gold. And you can see the back. I did a little bit of rub down with the thinner, because I had wanted to get a little bit of the light to come through, not a lot, just to show you that there is something kind of supernatural going on. And through the tattered parts of the clothes, you could see the light kind of coming through. And bringing it back around, you can see again we got his shoes. I think they look pretty cool. And we got, what else we got down there? We got another guy's foot. We've got a hand. And we've got what looks like a femur. And another bone. It could be a tibia. Of course, we've got the candelabra. And if you look really hard, you can see the flickering flame. So that would only be lit when he appears. Because this is what I'm thinking. When it comes to this whole scene, we probably go into a cave and it's really dark and it's dank, and then something might catch your eye and you could look over and you could see what you think is a pile. Because don't forget, I mean, it's probably dark, there's no light in there. So you think something that looks like a ship's wheel, so you actually go over to it and you're like, wow, look at that. It's actually a pile of gold coins in a treasure chest. So you're like, you start to look at it and you're starting to think, how can I get it out of the cave and take it home? And then all of a sudden, he appears. Maybe he assembles out of the pile of bones that he would be, or he just walks from the corner or comes from somewhere else, and you realize you made a mistake, and there's no way he's going to let you take his gold. At least that's my imagination. But my friends, I hope you enjoyed this Halloween build. These Halloween builds are getting to be pretty fun. Last year we did the Flying Dutchman. And again, it was pirate themed this year. We have the Shining Spoils of the Scallywag. This was an reissue kit. And that, my friends, was the Shining Spoils of the Scallywag. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it, because it was pretty fun. And my friends, till my next video, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.